Have you ever wondered why 99% of people remain poor while 1% accumulate untold wealth? What is their main secret? And most importantly, is it possible to repeat their path if you don't have startup capital, connections, or rich parents? Today, we'll look at the step-by-step plan by which Warren Buffett, a man who once sold newspapers on the streets, became one of the richest people in history. It's not a theory, it's a working strategy, proven over the years and has earned him hundreds of billions of dollars. Watch closely, because what you learn in this video could change your entire life. When Warren Buffett was a child, he did not dream of becoming a billionaire. He was just looking for ways to make some money. At age 6, he bought packs of chewing gum and resold them for more money. At 11, he bought his first stock. But most importantly, he realized early on that money should work for him, not the other way around. Most people spend their lives in perpetual pursuit of a salary, but Buffett chose a different path. He looked for ways to make money multiply without his involvement. He studied successful people, read dozens of books on finance, but most importantly, he wasn't afraid to try. And that's what separates rich people from poor people. Buffett didn't just look for opportunities, he created them. He realized that every experience, even an unsuccessful one, brings him closer to success. He learned from his mistakes, analyzed every loss, and found ways to make the next move smarter and more strategic. In his mind, every mistake was an investment in the future. It was this kind of perseverance, discipline, and willingness to follow through that was the foundation of his success. Buffett never waited for the perfect conditions. He worked with what he had and took advantage of every opportunity for growth. It was this mindset that made him one of the richest people in the world. One of the biggest mistakes that leaves 99% of people destitute is the habit of spending everything they earn. Buffett, on the other hand, understood from the very beginning, every dollar should bring even more dollars. He created a system that allowed him to turn even small money into huge capital. He never just spent money, he invested, and that strategy made him a billionaire. But how exactly does it work? The first thing to do is to change your attitude towards money. Poor people see money as a means to make purchases. Rich people see it as a tool to create even more capital. If you want to get rich, your job is to learn how to turn money into assets. This means that instead of immediately spending the money you get on short-term pleasures, you should look for ways to invest it in something that will yield more returns over time. This could be investing in stocks, starting your own business, buying real estate, or even investing in your own education. Every time you think about making a purchase, ask yourself this question: will this investment bring in money in the future? If not, then that money is going to waste. Buffett has often said that wealth is not a matter of luck, but of good decisions made over and over again. Even the smallest investment made today can turn into capital that will change your life in the future. The main thing is to learn to think strategically and see opportunities where no one else sees them. Many people think that you need large sums of money to invest, but this is a myth. Buffett started with pennies. He analyzed companies, looked for undervalued assets, bought cheaply, and waited for their value to rise. He always said, "The market is a tool to redistribute money from the impatient to the patient." If you are willing to act strategically and think long-term, you can replicate his success. Your job is to stop looking at money as something temporary. Instead of spending it on unnecessary things, start looking for ways to make it work. And it doesn't have to be huge sums of money. You can start small. Set aside at least 10% of every income and invest it wisely. The main thing is regularity and discipline. Small steps every day lead to big results in the future. Buffett often reminded, it's not just how much you earn, but how you manage that money. Invested wisely, even small amounts of money start to grow through the power of compound interest. It's like a snowball. It's small at first, but over time it turns into an avalanche. That's why it's important to start now, without putting it off until tomorrow. Even the smallest investment can be the beginning of a large capital if you approach it consciously. But it is important to understand, investments are not just about the stock market. It can be business, real estate, knowledge. Buffett has always emphasized that the best investment is an investment in yourself. If you want to get rich, you need to learn to think like a rich person. Read books on finance, Study biographies of successful people. Learn skills that will help you earn more. Most people are afraid to invest in knowledge because they don't see instant results. But that's exactly why they remain poor. Real money comes to those who are willing to learn and act. After all, knowledge is an asset that pays off more and more over time. Today you can spend time and money on learning, and tomorrow this knowledge will help you avoid mistakes, make the right decisions, and open doors that seemed closed before. Every successful person started by investing in their skills and mindset. Buffett himself said that he read hundreds of pages every day because it is information that shapes quality decisions. If you are ready to invest in yourself, grow, try and learn from your mistakes, your value as a person and a specialist will grow, and money will follow. Don't put off growth for later. Start learning today, because this is what distinguishes those who succeed from those who stand still. Another key principle of Buffett is patience. In a world where everyone wants quick money, the rich become those who know how to wait. Look at Warren. He invested for decades ahead. He was not chasing a quick profit. If you want to achieve financial independence, you need to abandon the mindset of a poor person. Ask yourself a question. Are you ready to give up unnecessary spending today in order to live like no one else in 10 years? If yes, then you're on the right track. But it's important to remember that patience is not just waiting, but actively working on yourself and your investments. It's the ability to see opportunities where others see only difficulties. It's the daily habit of making choices for the future rather than instant gratification. Buffett was never in a hurry. He understood that real results take time. He was willing to wait years if he knew his investment would pay off many times over. This quality helps distinguish a true investor from a novice who seeks quick profits. Financial freedom is a marathon, not a sprint. And every day you should ask yourself, is what I am doing today bringing me closer to the life I dream of? If the answer is yes, then you are moving in the right direction. Another important point is environment. Buffett has always socialized with smart and successful people. He learned from the best, absorbed their experience, and analyzed their strategies. If you are surrounded by people who constantly complain about life and say that money is evil, the chances of success are minimal. You need to look for an environment that energizes you to win. Socialize with those who want to grow. Learn from those who have already succeeded. The world is full of opportunities, but poor people don't see them because they look at life through the prism of their limitations. Buffett often said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're in the company of those who are committed to growth, your mindset will inevitably change. You'll start to see opportunities that you just didn't see before. You'll think differently about money, about labor, about goals. But if your environment is constantly dragging you down, instilling fear of risk and insecurity, you'll stay where you are. That's why it's so important to choose people who can inspire, give useful advice, and push you to develop. It can be not only personal acquaintances, but also books, interviews, podcasts. Even your virtual environment can shape your thinking. The main thing is to consciously choose who you listen to and whose thoughts you absorb. Now the big question is, where to start? First, stop spending money on unnecessary things. Remember that every dollar you invest today can turn into thousands in a few years. 2. Start learning about investing, business, and financial literacy. The more you know, the better your chances of success. 3. Take action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Warren Buffett started small, but through discipline and patience, he built an empire. And you can do it too if you start today. What do you think is the most important step on the path to wealth? Investment, mindset, or environment? Write in the comments what exactly, in your opinion, distinguishes a future billionaire from an ordinary person. If this video was useful for you, give it a like and share it with your friends.